Imagine living in a world where stealing bread could destroy your entire life. One wrong move, and the punishment could be terrifying. Kings didn't rule with kindness, they ruled with fear. And some punishments were so brutal, they still shock historians today. Deep below medieval castles, dark dungeons waited for prisoners. One machine became the symbol of pure horror. It looked like a metal coffin, filled with deadly spikes. And once you were pushed inside, there was no escape. The doors closed slowly, and the darkness swallowed everything. The pain wasn't meant to kill quickly. It was designed to make suffering last. But ancient Persia created something even worse. Victims were trapped between two tiny boats. Then they were force-fed milk and honey for days, and soon, insects began to arrive. Flies covered the body completely. Then came infection, disease, and rats. The victim stayed alive through all of it. Some people suffered for days before dying. In ancient Greece, executions became entertainment. A giant bronze bull waited for its next victim. The prisoner was locked inside the hollow statue. Then soldiers lit a fire underneath. Slowly, the metal began turning red hot. The person inside was burned alive. But the most disturbing part came next. The screams echoed through pipes, sounding like a roaring bull. In ancient China, one punishment terrified everyone. It was called death by 1,000 cuts. The prisoner could do nothing except wait. A silent crowd watched every second. The punishment was slow, painful, and humiliating. People believed it destroyed the soul itself, and the fear of it lasted for centuries. But torture wasn't always used for execution. Sometimes, it was used to force confessions. One machine became famous for this. It was called the rack. The victim's body was stretched further and further. Muscles tore, joints snapped, and innocent people confessed just to stop the pain. Across history, humans invented endless ways to punish each other, and every civilization believed it was justified. To them, this was justice. But public suffering also became entertainment. Crowds gathered to watch people die, and fear became a weapon of power. Eventually, these punishments faded into history, but humanity never fully escaped cruelty. Even modern prisons still raise difficult questions. So now we have to ask ourselves something disturbing. What things do we accept today that future humans will call barbaric? History reveals something uncomfortable about humanity. Humans are capable of incredible intelligence, but also incredible cruelty. And sometimes, both existed at the same time. That's what makes history so terrifying, because ordinary humans created all of this, and under the wrong conditions, humans could create horrors like this again. Even the greatest kingdoms eventually disappeared, but the victims were never fully forgotten. History remembers every scream, every punishment, and every act of cruelty, because every civilization believes it is civilized, until the future looks back in horror. And maybe, one day, they will judge us too.